simple, but the day for Todd Wright, watch the onside kick. The ball bounces past Tennessee into Darwin, Ireland's arms. The onside kick is good, and then Todd Wright converts 41 yards, his fourth field goal of the day, and Arkansas knocks off the #4 team in the nation. 25-24 is the final. In the ACC, Clemson and Virginia. Some of you are seeing this here on ABC. Bobby Goodman, 4 touchdown passes in the first half. They lead it easily, 28-7. Virginia's strong this year. Nebraska blows out Oklahoma State 55-0. The Huskers, 31-game unbeaten streak against Oklahoma State. Calvin Jones, 7 carries, 176 yards. Talk about getting the most out of your runs here. Oklahoma and Texas. Some of you seeing that here on ABC. Peter Gardere, 31 yards to Jason Burleson, and that's why they lead it 17-10. He has never lost to Oklahoma, has Gardere. Maryland and Georgia Tech in the ACC. The Terps are up 17-7 against the #17 team in the nation. Jermaine Lewis, 32-yard return of a blocked punt to tie that game, and now they've taken the lead. Ohio State and Illinois. The Buckeyes are reeling. They lost last week to Wisconsin. Jason Verduzco for the Illini has been struggling as well, so he did not start the game. The defense, though, gets things going here. George with the fumble. Jeff Arness in the gift, right in his arms. There's the only block he needs. Takes it 96 yards for the touchdown. Jeff Kinney, who got the start, celebrating. Eddie George fumbles again on the 1-yard line. Ricker recovers. This one sets up the drive to the winning field goal. 53 seconds left. Tim Williams misses the 44-yard attempt for the Buckeyes, and they lose for the second straight week in the Big Ten, 18-16 the final. LSU and Florida. Shane Matthews coming back from a very bad game, but he had a terrific game in this one. Matthews, 23 of 35, 281 yards and 2 touchdowns, setting a new school record for touchdown passes with 58. Meanwhile, some of the action in the top 25 does not get underway until later tonight, including Auburn and Mississippi State. Mississippi State, the team that knocked off Shane Matthews. And Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, trying to bounce back from that loss to Stanford. Stanford back to the Pac-10 facing UCLA. Stanford up to #11 right now. And the teams that are idle, Texas A&M and Boston College. Boston College next week. You can see them against Penn State here on ABC. Meanwhile, Kansas State and Kansas in that state, both these schools had things going. Kansas State gets, though, its first loss of the year, minus 56 yards rushing on the offense as Kansas wins their 4th of the year easily there. In the ALCS, it's moved from Toronto to Oakland, and the Blue Jays in the 7th inning looking to take a 2-1 lead. Right now the score is 3-2 as Roberto Alomar and Candy Maldonado have home runs for the Toronto Blue Jays. We'll take a listen to the Virginia Band as we move along right now on the Prudential Halftime Report with a look at some more scores on this Saturday of college football.
There's a house whose rooms I know by heart, where I tended the garden and read my books, where dreams were dreamt and memories made, where children grew up and I grew old, a house where I belong.
When the Prudential created the Living Needs benefit, we made it possible for the terminally ill to collect their death benefit while they're alive. So if they choose, they can afford to live out their days not in the confines of a hospital, but in the comfort of their own home.
There's a house where I belong.
For information, call 1-800-THE-ROCK.
I bet you'd be surprised about what's really happening in college football. Better education. The College Football Association's latest survey reveals that the college graduation rate of football players has increased 16% in the last 6 years. Football is a game and it's fun, but a college education lasts a lifetime. College football is about experiencing college and football.
America wins with college football.
Welcome back once again to New York in the Prudential Halftime Report. I'm John Saunders. Quickly now, a check of the scoreboard and the highlights. And first, Florida State bouncing back from that loss to Miami. But Charlie Ward had a rough day early, so Bobby Bowden decides to go to some razzle-dazzle here. A little option play. Sean Jackson throws the pass, and Tamarick Vanover has it 47 yards to set up the Florida State touchdown. That made it 22-7, but Bowden, his kicking game is still killing him. Dan Mowry missing 2 extra points. He missed the field goal last week, and now showing his frustration, but Florida State wins easily, 36-13. Georgia all over Division I AA Georgia Southern, 34-7. Garrison Hurst, 20 carries, 173 yards and 2 touchdowns. Andre Hastings, 11 touchdown catches, tying a school record held by Charles Whitmore and Bobby Walston. Rutgers and Syracuse. Marvin Graves was the story early in this game. The Orange rolling here, second play. Graves hits his tight end, Chris Gedney, who then rumbles 65 yards after a nice move there to the end zone for the touchdown. Graves also 69 yards to Qadri Ismail and 77 yards to Kerry Farrell in the first quarter. Winds up with 425 yards passing, 476 total, both Syracuse records. NC State beats up Texas Tech 48-13. Anthony Barber, 189 yards rushing and 1 touchdown for the Wolfpack. A check now in the Ivy League. We'll start off with Cornell facing Harvard. Cornell gets the win, 31-13. Chris Zingo of Cornell, 11 tackles today, 71 in 4 games, almost 18 a game. Princeton beats Brown 28-14. Keith Elias, 26 carries, 139 yards, and 2 touchdowns, now with 825 yards rushing in 4 games. William and Mary beats Penn by 2, 21-19. Derek Fitzgerald, 116 yards and 3 touchdowns. Boston U, no match for Delaware, 49-14 the final. Bill Vergantino ran for a school record time, 4 touchdowns and passed for another to pace the Blue Hens. Villanova beats Connecticut 27-20. Curtis Eller, 21 tackles and caused 2 fumbles to lead Villanova. Now a look in the Mid-American Conference in Akron at Kent. Gets this loss 20.
Over 20,000 innovative products.
Welcome back to the Cotton Bowl. Sold out as usual as Texas and Oklahoma meet for the 87th time. Texas leading by 7 at the half. And let's go back and look at some of the scores that have led to this 17-10 halftime encounter. Here's the first touchdown. Oklahoma's Cale Gundy going 9 yards to P.J. Mills.
They had 3 receivers out to the left. Mills is the inside of the 2 receivers. The Texas defensive back lined up a little bit on his outside. He ran the quick slant inside, and they hit him for a touchdown.
Then Peter Gardere came back and hit Justin McLemore. There was a penalty on Oklahoma on the play, and McLemore right down the middle of the field.
He was wide open on the post cut. It looked like there was some illegal motion in the by Texas, but as they ran it back, it didn't show, so the play counted.
Now this play, watch Adrian Walker, the running back, pick up Mike Coates, number 41, right there on the blitz. Gardere to Jason Burleson, the tight end.
This is a great catch by Burleson. They weren't sure whether he was going to play or not. He's their best receiving tight end. And usually when you see these tight ends with a 13 number, you know they started out as a quarterback and eventually moved to tight end.
Well, Scott Blanton of the Sooners is ready to kick off, and Mike Adams, number 83, is standing on the goal line for Texas as we are ready to go to start the second half of play with Texas leading Oklahoma by 7. Adams from the 3. Breaks a hole. And a fine open field tackle at about the 29 by Robert O'Neill. A junior out of Tulsa may have saved a touchdown. Well, here are the first half stats. And Texas with a big advantage both in time of possession and yardage as well as on the scoreboard, Bill.
And also in rushing as well. At 268 to 165, there's 100 yards in the half, and that's the reason they're leading by 7 points.
So Texas with a 7-point lead gets the ball. They won the opening toss and deferred. And they have it 1st and 10 at their own 30 to start the second half. Phil Brown, the lone setback. Firing. Almost intercepted. Darnell Walker cut right in front of the intended receiver but couldn't hold on. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Here's his play again. He's running down and running an out cut right at midfield here. This is one of those passes that Gardere should not throw. He did not have enough cushion, should have thrown the ball away or chosen a different receiver. That could have been a real catastrophe for Texas had they intercepted that ball.
Gardere now is 12 of 21, 175 yards. He has thrown 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Curtis Jackson running through tacklers and getting about 6 to the 36. Let's go down on the sidelines to Dean Blevins.
Guys, bad news for Oklahoma in the injury department. 7 frontline players will probably not play the entire second half. Some are out. Albert Hall, of course, out. Ricky Brady, the tight end, out. P.J. Mills will play a little bit, the wide receiver. Reggie Barnes definitely out, sprained knee ligaments. Joe Correa out. Cedric Jones will play a little. Greg Wilkins was out. And a band member got hurt before the game, and she's out. Texas has 0 injury.
Now when it rains, it pours. Health often a big factor. From the shotgun, 3rd down and 4. Gardere has time. Completes it to Kenny Neal. And he has enough for the 1st down. At about the 47.5. Darius Johnson on the coverage for Oklahoma.
Here's Neal coming off the ball here, running an outcut, big cushion. Turns at the 50 and gets the ball. The ball was thrown a little behind him, but he made a great catch for the 1st down. That's a big play for Texas because Texas has not been a good second half team. They've given up 63 points to scoring only 27 in the second half so far this season.
Great play action. Gardere trapped and dropped very near the line of scrimmage, and a penalty flag after the play. Trey Tippins beside himself as the flag was thrown after the play was over. And it is against the Sooners.
Personal foul, helmet contact, 15 yards, 1st down.
They hit him in the head, and it's a personal foul against Oklahoma.
Gardere's scrambling here, and just as he goes down, number 30 Collins puts a headgear right on him. You cannot do that. That's a 15-yard penalty.
Terry Collier, a freshman out of Monday, Texas. And a big penalty, moving the ball inside the 40 of Oklahoma. 1st down. Curtis Jackson. Inside the 20. Finally out of bounds at the 13. Just a freshman out of Plano, Texas. Curtis Jackson with another big run.
All right, Curtis Jackson here on a 1st down draw play. They isolated number 41, coach of the big. These 2 men who missed the tackle in there took a bad angle, and this Jackson has good speed as he broke it to the outside. A big play.
Drew Chrisman, the strong safety, finally knocked him out of bounds, but the Longhorns are right back at it, 1st and 10 at the Oklahoma 13. Delay again, Phil Brown, big hole, touchdown. For the first time in 36 quarters of play, Texas scores a rushing touchdown against the Oklahoma defense. And they do it on yet another impressive drive. Scott Soretti with a perfect extra point. And the Longhorns increase their lead to 24-10 early in the 3rd quarter.
Here's There's a delay counter in there. The guard pulls and traps out. Big 67 ceiling inside, and Brown takes it in standing up.